Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to give you my review of NECRY TALKIE's brand new song, Frog Quest 2, which just came out. I just watched the premiere and spent about an hour re-listening to it and trying to get my thoughts together. I do find it interesting that it's called Frog Quest 2, but if you look at the Japanese title and you translate it, it's something along the lines of The Ongoing Adventures of Mr. Frog. One sounds like a rather calm kid's book, and the other one is Frog Quest 2. That's the most Japanese translation I've ever seen. I love it, and it's also very NECRY TALKIE at the same time. Anyway, this song was quite an interesting one, as I think anyone else who's heard it or was there for the premiere will also know, so do check it out before you hear my review if you haven't for any reason already done so. Anyway, like I say, I've been getting my thoughts together. We don't just do reactions anymore, we do reviews, so I've already listened to that song about as many times as you can in an hour. I've had a good sort of 10 or 15 listens, got my thoughts together, wrote down my review, recorded it for you. Anyway, a lot to unpack, so let's get into my thoughts.
This song is an unexpected joy. Not that I wouldn't expect a wonderful song from NECRY TALKIE, but that this was both different and yet so totally them at the same time. Well, that's a great starting point. Frog Quest 2 kicks into gear with a chiptune backing and a rendition of its central melody that is charming. I mean, who doesn't love chiptune? As well as a great sort of tension builder for the emotion and a beautiful highlighting of how strong the melody itself is. More on that later. The fact that it takes a whole minute for the actual band instruments to enter shows that this song is taking its time. There's a mature restraint to its pace that simultaneously acknowledges this is more than just a quick pop song and indicates they have a bigger emotional picture to paint here. When the band does burst in for the choruses with big held guitar notes, belting choral singing and just the right amount of their signature playful sounds, it is hard not to be reminded of an Irish sing-along bar song, actually. It's both rousing and very human, like a call of unity and a personal message at the same time. You could sing it in the pub, in a stadium, or in the car driving home. It's furiously catchy and heartfelt and simple and an absolutely wonderful hook. On this note, at very least, Frog Quest 2 is a real winner. I would be willing to accept that fans of the band's more conventionally hyperactive material may find this doesn't hit their switches quite as much, but even then I would be amazed if anyone wasn't encapsulated by the charm and emotion of it all. And this still very much feels like NECRY. I mean, from the fun little one-beat keyboard fills to Moss's Game Boy storyline in the video, there is enough twee fun to make this undeniably the band we all know and love. But when you hear things like the gentle piano breakdown at the end, there's this sense that something has been added to the recipe and it just tastes right. Lyrically, we're offered a reflective and nostalgic series of thoughts in keeping with the music. In fact, there was a very sort of poetic tone, which was just another cherry on an already appealing cake. The comparison of the old and new in the lyrics, looking back and looking forwards, it seemed rather poignant and apt. I imagine this being one of those songs written alone by one person on keyboard or guitar, and then the rest of the band joining in naturally by jamming along when they heard it maybe the next day. Kind of exactly as you would do with a bar anthem, to be fair. And that's the feeling, that sort of effortlessly natural feeling. It's very much here. And although I want NECRY to always keep the spark of their original sound, Frog Quest 2 is a stunning leap of maturity that shows such a balanced growth in writing. Addictive, honest, playful but appropriate. I'll have this on repeat play for a good few days at least, I am sure. I have used more adjectives in this review than I normally do, and it's just because there's so many good things to talk about in this track. And yet, at its heart, it's a very simple track, drawing from all the best things about NECRY TALKIE in a way that's kind of fresh for them. So, what is my metaphor today? Well, here's a strange one. Frog Quest 2 is ketchup on your chips. Or fries if you're American. It was already delicious before, but you added something, and even if it's not for everyone, I think most people are going to like it.
Yeah, so just a charming track. I'd be really interested to know what you guys think, as always, in the comments. But this is one of those ones where I can imagine maybe someone who's into hyperactive music, or maybe has heard a lot of sort of, these sort of sing-along ballady type songs. Not that it's necessarily a ballad. I can understand that some people might find that it doesn't really bring enough to stand out. I would be willing to hear that argument, or any opinion, to be fair. Music is subjective after all. But I just think this has got an air of charm where even if musically it doesn't appeal to you, then I think just the charm and the feeling and the catchiness must come through. I think it's a real winner, and I really hope it does well for them, especially with the modern record company backing that they got now. Obviously, when we first checked them out on our previous channel, before I got closed down, they were so small, and now they've grown up so big. It's been wonderful watching them do this and keeping their charm and growing so wonderfully. So as I say, get in the comments. Tell me what you guys think. I'm really looking forward to seeing your comments on this one. Hope it starts up some good conversation. Really hope that there are going to be lots of different, interesting opinions. But either way, you know what to do. If you do that, also feel free to press like and subscribe in the YouTube stuff. If you want to support us, hey, it's all opinions, even if you disagree with me, which I'd be surprised by. Go along with it. And feel free to follow any of our social medias, also linked in the description below. Big shout out to everyone from our Discord as well. That's very active at the moment and has been getting bigger and bigger, so feel free to join them. And on top of that, there is also our Patreon. Yeah, look, big thank you as always to our Patrons. We're not monetized, that's why there's no adverts around here, so those guys keep us alive. Thank you so much. And thank you to you for making it through to the end of this Waffle Fest. So until I hopefully see you in Japan very soon for the next one of these, for now, ciao ciao.